Everybody, new school comic book reviews. Okay, so let's start with Red One number 2, written by Xavier Dorson and Terry Dotson, and Rachel Dotson do the art. Basically, the premise of this comic book, it's set in the late 1970s, and the premise is that the main character is a Soviet soldier, super soldier, what have you, and she's been sent to America to become a superhero. The idea being that the Soviets have a problem with one particular kind of anti-pornography, anti-communist activist who seems to be getting more and more popular in the United States. And this person is getting more popular because as the indirect success of a vigilante who's running around America called the Carpenter, who kills off indecent people or people he doesn't like or whatever. And the idea is that Vera is going to go to America, become a superhero, win everybody over, and then kill the Carpenter. And that's kind of the basic setup. In this particular issue, Vera has, she's kind of settling into the States. She's about to start her superhero career. She's got it kind of set up. She's living with this kind of older guy and everything. And, she kind of sort of settles in, becomes his kind of assistant, for lack of a better word. And like I said, starts doing the whole kind of...
Hey, how you doing, Brother Edward?
All right, how you doing?
All right, you.
All right. Neighbor saying hi. And she's doing her kind of a superhero thing, and that's basically well, I don't want to give too much of what's going on in this issue, but it's basically her establishing herself as a superhero and whatnot, and you get to meet some of the other characters that are involved in her story and whatnot. I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed in with the issue here. Well, a couple things here. I think the writing suffers mostly. I'm guessing it's just because Xavier, I don't think English is his first language, so a lot of the dialogue and whatnot I had to read twice to just understand what people were talking about. And I think that kind of hurts the comic or whatever. Other thing I'm disappointed in is this is the second issue. It ends on a to be continued note, and the editorial in the back says we're not going to get another issue of new material until next year or whatever. And I get it, people have schedules and obligations and stuff. Terry Dotson's doing the Princess Leia series for Marvel and stuff like that. But it's kind of a letdown because, they point out that there's 60 pages of material between this issue and the last issue. But at the same time, I think they could have done a better job of presenting a story, even if it's going to be continued, that kind of still felt like a solid unit, you know what I mean? And not just setup or whatever. So, I mean, on one hand, it's a good deal. It's a really thick comic book, but it's like, man, 60 pages and you couldn't tell one story, I don't know. Back in the old days, people were able to tell stories in 8 pages, But there you go. All right, Bitch Planet number 4, Kelly Sue DeConnick and Kelly Sue DeConnick and DeLandro. I'm sorry, Kelly Sue DeConnick and Valentine DeLandro. And pow. Okay, basically, in this issue, we get a little bit more of what's going to be going on with the big game that the prisoners are being forced to play. And there's a little bit, well, I probably wouldn't show that, but I can show this. There's a little bit more going on with the kind of dealings in the prison and whatnot, and how things are set up, and the relationship between the guards and the prisoners and each other and whatnot. So So we have that. And not a whole lot, other than that, though, not a whole lot happens in this particular issue. But I thought it was okay. I think this comic suffers mostly from what do I want to say? I guess I want to say trade writing, where it's like individual issues aren't as satisfying as they could be, but it'll probably read better once you read it in trade, and I guess that's it. I mean, it basically just suffers from that sort of kind of slow burn storytelling, but it's okay. I'm still enjoying this comic, so. Captain America, all new Captain America, #6 by Rick Remender and Stuart Immerman. This one I really did enjoy. I thought it was a satisfying conclusion to the first story arc. Basically, what we've seen so far is Sam Wilson as the new Captain America basically run a gauntlet of old Captain America foes. And I think in the first few issues, it was kind of disappointing because it looked like Sam was getting his ass kicked a little bit too much. But I think these last few issues have kind of turned that around a bit. The story itself is not that, it's really not that deep. But that's okay. It's a slam bang action type story, and I think on that level it pretty much delivers. I think most of the credit though has to go to Stuart Immerman's art here. Another artist I think probably wouldn't have done as good as a job, or if they just got somebody who was kind of mediocre. I think the comic probably would have failed. So I think Stuart Immerman's art really kind of helps push this comic into being, better than average. So there you go. All right. Other comics I got this for free comic book day, Hip Hop Family Tree. I think there was another one of these out last year at Free Comic Book Day. I got this thing here. I don't know anything about it. One side is Super Mutant Magic Academy. It looks like, I don't know if this is a web series or anything. It's from Drawn and Quarterly. Can you read that stuff? So that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming maybe it's a web series or something like that. Just kind of a lot of like one-off strips. And then the other side is A Step Aside, a Hark a Variant collection. This I am a little bit familiar with Hark a Variant by Kate Beaton. We did Sexy Batman, but here's some of that. This isn't Sexy Batman, but here's some of her art if you're not familiar with it. Other stuff I got was Ultron Forever. I got Daredevil 15, Mark Waid and Chris Samey. Got Multiversity. I got this Giant Days. I don't know anything about it. Issue 2. The cover just kind of stood out for me, so I just thought I'd just grab it, take a shot. Another kind of wacky sort of looking thing. I don't know. It looks like it's about relationships or something like that. I'm not too sure. And then I got the second trade of Sunstone. Okay. All right, I'm a little bit behind. It might be, I don't know. I might take a while before I review this. I'll probably do another review. I did a review of the first one. I might take a while before I do the other one, but just because I'm behind on my trade writing or trade reading or whatever. But yeah. Okay, and so that's it. Got to thank you very much for listening, and you all have a good day.